Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. I was lucky enough to be able to attend a Pelikan Hub back on November 18th at Legend Brewing Company in Richmond, Virginia. And I took some pictures. I thought I would share them with you. I met so many wonderful people. We were all just gathered together in the pub, having some drinks, talking about pens. And the people that sat at my table, I just took pictures of all of their pens. And I can't tell if these pictures are in focus or not, but you can take a look at them and see what some people had. This lady had a cool pen case, which I took a picture of. I thought that was really nice. And she was into urban sketching. This is her Sailor Fude nib that she got for like 18 bucks. I couldn't believe it. So I'm going to have to find me one of those. But she had them filled with all different inks, and she let me write with all of them. I took my little Rhodia notebook so I could check out different people's pens and inks. But it was so much fun to get together with other pen lovers and talk about pens, talk about inks. This was another woman's ink swatch book. I've already forgotten everybody's names. I'm so embarrassed. But this woman and I decided that we are pen twins because we like the same kind of pens, we like the same kind of inks. So we have to get together again at some point and do some ink swapping or something. This woman had this gorgeous vintage maquille pen. It's really hard to see because it's kind of dark, but it was this beautiful bird that was inlaid on this pen. And this was her little pen tray that she brought with all her different pens in it. Oh, I didn't get a chance to write with all of them, but they were just so fun to look at and so fun to play with. And everybody brought pens to share, and we just had the best time. I do have to tell you about another woman. She had the most amazing pen collection. I mean, all of her pens, not these pens, but all of her pens were these rare, expensive, Namiki Emperors and Urushi and Makie and all these different things. But she overheard me say to someone that I had dropped one of my pens. And then she didn't want to let me touch her pens. It was so funny. It was just great to have a chance to get together with other pen lovers and see how people use their pens in different ways and what kind of inks they liked, and just talk about all the things that we loved and not get looked at like a bunch of weirdos. Ooh, they're all sparkly. Oh my goodness, it's like my diamond cast pen. I love it. Very cool. So these are all going to be made into pens someday.
This is my favorite one.
I like that one. I think probably this one is my favorite.
Yeah.
The blues and the purples. I love it.
Yeah, I like this flash of white in it. It gives it some definition.
It makes it pop.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
But this is too much contrast.
That is like fire.
It's like a volcano.
It's like a volcanic eruption. You're absolutely right. Crazy.
And this is almost like it's like a Neapolitan what do you call them? The slices, the pastries.
Oh yeah,
How they do.
Yep. Very cool. All right. Well, that little clip was so much fun to look at. I just thought I would come to you in real time and show you some of the stuff that I got at the hub. This is the Rhodia notebook that I took with me and wrote with. And I didn't label all of the pictures, but each pen that I wrote with, I took a picture of. So if you really want to, you can look at the list and then go back and look at the pictures and figure out which pen is in which picture, but I didn't do that. So this is, of course, it was, I don't know what I'm talking about. Of course, this was a Pelikan Hub, so a lot of people brought Pelikans, but other people brought whatever pens they had. And that's pretty much what I did. I only have a couple of Pelikans, so I took a whole bunch of different pens. But these are all of the pens that I wrote with. And if I knew what the ink was, or the person remembered what the ink was, then I wrote it down. This is that Sailor Fude nib that I mentioned. Gosh, I can't remember the woman's name, but she said she got the pen from the St. Louis I'll have to look it up and put a link in the description. It's the St. Louis Art Company or something like that. And I looked at it. They have 2 different Sailor pens. One is like $18.95, and I think the other one's like $25. And I think both of them have fude nibs, but I wrote with it and it was so cool. I mean, look at this. Look at this line variation. That is crazy. I've never written with a fude nib before, so that was super fun. And then somebody else had another fude nib that I tried out. It wasn't quite as easy to use as the Sailor, so the Sailor nibs are definitely good quality nibs, but still, you could still get a lot of line variation. But, you know, for $19, pretty much anybody can afford one of those Sailor fude nibs. And then, of course, our host was Chet from the Herbert Pen Company, and somebody had one of his pens, and it was beautiful. I don't think I got a picture of it. Maybe I did. I can't remember. But she had it filled with Sherwood green. And then there's some Pelikan Golden Barrel. And, oh, St. Louis Supply. That's where it came from. I did write it down. The Sailor fude nib. And she said it was a 55-degree angle. But I think that was the only angle they had on their pens. And then the woman that had those really expensive pens, most of them I had never heard of before. This was the one that she let me touch. A Naganati Cenote, maybe? I can't remember. I'd never heard of any of them, but they were very expensive and very interesting. And then I spoke to a woman. She saw my vanishing point in my pen case, and she had the new Moonman knockoff. So we were comparing them, and she said, oh, I can tell that your pen is much more expensive than mine. But I really couldn't, you know, if you're just glancing at the pens, they look pretty much the same. But she had a great time writing with my pens. And, yeah, I was trying out a cursive italic here. So that was interesting. And, oh, this, I haven't shared this with you guys yet. I keep meaning to, but this is my latest vintage pen purchase from Tim's Vintage Pens. It's called a Smooth Point, and it has a number 8 nib. Number 8 nibs are my current obsession. I have several of them, but that one's very cool. A number 8 on a vintage pen, who knew? And then I got another Epenco Eagle pen from him, because I'm also obsessed with Eagle pens, even though they're cheap little vintage pens. I love them. And I forget what that skeleton pen was. I think it might have been that lady that had the Mach-E, the vintage Mach-E pen. I think that was her skeleton pen. But anyway, we also got, as a part of being registered members of the Hub, we got these little notepads that say Pelikan Hubs on them. And it doesn't say what kind of paper it is. It's really not marked very much. And inside, actually mine is already fallen apart. But it's just a little notepad. The paper feels so smooth. It's like glass. I haven't tried writing on it yet, but it is beautiful. And we also got this magazine. It's like a Pelikan pen magazine. Pelikan Passion. PelikanPassion.com. So, you know, it's just a cool pen magazine for pen lovers. Again, I did not know that this existed. And I haven't really taken a chance to sit down and read all of it yet, but it's just so fun to know that things like this exist out there. You know, there are things out there for fountain pen enthusiasts. So, of course, you know, we got them for free for being at the Pelikan Hub. I don't know where you can normally get these. Maybe pen retailers pass them out. There's no barcode or anything on it, so I don't think it's a retail purchase. But anyway, very cool. And one of my lovely table mates gave me a sample of her Golden Barrel. And you could see the lovely shimmer in the bottom, and a sample of her Moonstone. And those were her pens I wrote with on the Rhodia notebook. So I thought it might be fun to do a little swatch with these on this new paper and see what it looks like. So honestly, this pad has completely fallen out of the cover, so I'm just going to get the cover out of the way. I have some Q-tips here, and my phone is telling me that the battery is low, but hang in there, phone. You can make it. I believe in you. Okay, so let's start with the golden barrel. We got to shake it up a little bit. And we'll see what this looks like. Ooh, lots of shimmer. And I'm about 1,000 miles away from the camera again. So let me zoom in here a little bit. I really did take a video making class at work. You probably don't believe me, but I really did. Okay. And I have my dip pen here. My glass nib still hasn't surfaced. Wow, we are really close, aren't we? But yeah, the glass nib, it took a little vacation. Oh dear. Okay, I just dripped. I just dripped on the paper, but that's fine. So this is, ooh, that is dirty, dirty. Messy, messy. Where's my paper towel? Okay. That is not much better. I re-dipped and I got the pen just as dirty on the dip as I did the first time. Okay, so this is Pelikan. Ooh, do I have any ink in here? All right. Still a dip pen newbie. Let's see. Pelikan. Goodness gracious. I feel like I'm writing sideways. That can't be a good way to write. Oop, am I out of ink? Seem to be. All right now. Okay. So we'll give him a swish in the water and look at the moonstone. So capping the sample, capping the sample. Yes, very close, very close. And here is the moonstone. I'm pretty sure this is not a shimmer ink. So let's see. I need my Q-tip. And I'm, whoops, dropped the Q-tip. I'm laying the ink on really heavy on this paper, but of course that's a good way to test the paper and see how much ink it can handle, because that is a lot of ink. All right. That is a lovely gray. Just making sure my dip pen is clean. Making sure I get all the sparkle off of it. Let's see. Ooh, are we in frame? Do we have ink? Let's try this again. Ooh. My goal for the new year, learn how to write with a dip pen. No, not really. That's not really my goal for the new year. But I am curious to know, what are your goals for the year? Now see, look at that. There is ink on this nib if my camera will focus. And we're focusing and we're not dumping the sample. Can you see that? It is full of ink, but it doesn't want to come down to the bottom of the nib. All right. Wow. It is just not coming off of the nib. But so what are your pen goals for the year, for the coming year, for 2023? All right. Apparently Moonstone is resistant to dip nibs, because as you can see, there is a boatload of ink on there. Yeah, look at that bubble of ink. Surface tension. Wow. All right, well, I'll just rub some ink on the paper. All right, you. Nope, it's just not doing anything. Jeez. Oh, you know what? I've got the other, the automatic pen. I don't think I can write with that one. That's the big flat one. But let's see. I couldn't write with it the other day when I was swatching those other inks, but maybe. Let's see. If I write with the side of it. Nope. Nope. All right. Well, this is highly resistant ink. But it's Moonstone. I promise it is. Okay, well. Oh, well, there's some ink. Okay, well, we've already swatched it, so we know what the ink looks like. But that's Moonstone. Interesting. It kind of reminds me of the consistency of the Sailor inks, the Sailor multi-shading inks, like Haha and Neko Yanagi, that seem to have a lot of surface tension and just don't want to get off of your nib. So let's get a little bit closer. Maybe I should back out just a little bit. Whew. So there is the golden barrel with the lovely shimmer. And I can't tell if that's some orange sheen going on around the edge there. But it definitely looks like it has some nice shading and lots of pretty shimmer. And there's that drop that I accidentally dropped. He's still drying. Ooh, very interesting. And then here is the Moonstone. It looks like the Moonstone has really soaked through the paper. Let's see. I'm going to rip this sheet off, and we're going to see what the back looks like. If I can get just one sheet. Wow. I guess it's really thick paper. Yeah, that seems to be one sheet. Well, again, I'm backing out some. So here's the front of the paper, and here is the back of the paper. And the paper is warped where I did the swatches, and that's the drop. So you can definitely tell that liquid has soaked into the paper, but no bleed through, not a bit. Cool. So this is some high quality paper, whatever kind of paper it is, and some beautiful looking inks. All right, well, I think that's about all I wanted to share about the Pelikan Hub. I did have so much fun, and I could talk about pens all night. I could talk about going to that Pelikan Hub all night, because I just had the best time. But if you have any questions about anything, or want me to talk some more about, you know, some of the stuff that we did, or the pens that we played with, or whatever, just let me know. And I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.